Paramount outbid Netflix for Warner Brothers, and this was a big surprise to me. And I know initially when we talked about the bids for Warner Brothers and when Netflix won the initial round, we both our sentiment from both of us was like we didn't think this was gonna close. More from a regulatory standpoint. Uh, but in this case, what ended up happening is Paramount's last offer prior to winning the bid was $30 a share. They upped it to $31 a share, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're dealing with millions of shares, it's a lot of money. So, and Netflix, and I thought for sure Netflix would just outbid them or bid the or come with the same price, not $31, but because they were buying just the film side, not the TV side, so they could up their bid to by a dollar, but um, whatever. So Netflix decided, you know what, it's not worth it, and they stepped out. So in theory, Paramount is now going to win Warner Brothers for $31 a share. Otherwise, $110 billion total. What
Has
are your thoughts?
has Warner Brothers said that they're going with the Paramount bid?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
the shareholders haven't approved it yet, but the board this is what the board wants to do.
So irrespective of what I think, the stock price on Netflix is up substantially since that news came out. I think the next day it was up like 10 or 15, 10 or 12% or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, at some point it does become too much. You're paying over $100 billion for, what is, I don't even know what Warner Brothers revenue run rate is, but they were probably paying a pretty substantial premium for that revenue. Um, I don't blame Netflix for stepping away. And by the way, they probably created enough disruption to where HBO is no longer going to be a major threat going forward. Because I suspect when these things happen, when your company goes up for sale, basically to the highest bidder, the talent doesn't just sit around and stay at that company. The talent is like, okay, I don't want to listen to some new boss to tell me what to do. So that talent is probably already left. Netflix may have been the beneficiary of the talent drain that might even be happening over there. So I suspect this is a net positive for Netflix, and no pun intended there. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think there's good reason why the stock should be up, and they were probably overpaying a little bit, and now someone else is overpaying, who's going to be in a huge amount of debt, by the way, that they'll have to dig themselves out of. So they're not going to be a fantastic competitor having that much debt coming into it. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Netflix wins in this both ways. Had they closed it at the original bid, they would have been a winner because they would have taken out a major competitor and could have introduced new package deals that would have increased their subscription revenue potentially more than the combined revenue streams. And in this case, where they sort of step away, someone else is overpaying, and they are not going to be able to do nearly as well as Netflix would have been able to do with them, because there's another place where the talent can go anyway and create great shows, and that other place is Netflix. So the talent could still move there without Netflix having to pay for it. So uh, I think it's a net gain for Netflix.
It's also a physical gain because the other benefit for Netflix is there was a breakup fee that Warner Brothers had to pay, but in as a part of Paramount's bid, they volunteered to pay it. So Paramount already paid Netflix $2.8 billion
Oh wow! I
to
did
break
not.
the
I
breakup.
didn't. I knew about that, but I had completely forgotten about that. Yeah, that's another $2.8 billion windfall for
Yeah,
Netflix. Now, it doesn't make much of a difference compared to their market cap, uh, but it just
yeah.
puts them even in a weaker position to try to compete with Netflix right off the bat, being in so much debt.